Welcome to Sleeping with Sarah. I'm Sarah Albritton, a narcoleptic comedian from Chicago, and this is a podcast where I interview people in my bed. And we talk about weird sleep stuff, dreams, relationships, sex, anything else that comes up. This week I interviewed Chicago comedian Paula Ann. Paula hosts Wish You Were Beer every Thursday at Spiner's, and though she doesn't have a Twitter, she has an Instagram, and you can follow her at Paula Panine. That's PaulaPonine. Sleeping with Sarah is brought to you by Audible.com. Go to audibletrial.com/sleepingwithsarah to get a free audiobook of your choice. This week, I'd like to recommend I Know I Am, But What Are You? By Samantha Bee. Again, that's audibletrial.com/sleepingwithsarah. If you like this podcast, please subscribe on iTunes and rate and review. You can also go to sleepingwithsarah.com for more information. This week, Paula and I talked about sleep paralysis, lucid dreaming, and fears. Let's get started with the show. Welcome to Sleeping with Sarah. I'm Sarah Albritton, and I'm here with my guest, Paula.
Hey, what's up?
How's it going, Paula?
Good. I'm really cozy.
Yeah?
Actually,
Yeah, you comfortable?
I'm really comfortable.
In your pajamas?
Yeah. I don't know why I'm rubbing my belly, but I think that's just what I do when I'm comfortable. I don't know.
It's like after a big, long meal, you feel very satisfied. You just rub the belly. You're yep.
And I always immediately put my pajamas on and go to sleep after a long meal. That's what I feel like.
How'd you sleep last night?
How did I sleep last night? I slept at my boyfriend's place, but we went to bed at like 5 a.m, so I slept really well. And then I woke up at maybe 8 a.m. His room is not.
So you only slept for 3 hours, but you slept really well?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
So you don't require a lot of sleep?
I usually do. Just today, for whatever freakish reason, I'm all it means is I'm gonna crash. Soon.
You're gonna always fall asleep during this podcast.
I'm not gonna fall asleep here, but I think it's just because his room is not comfortable. So if it was when he sleeps at my place, I'm not a morning person at all. So I'll sleep until noon or and he's usually the first one to get up. But it's just his room is gross. So I woke up a little earlier than I normally would.
That's so funny. Yeah, guys' rooms being gross. I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of talking to someone right now, and I haven't ever been over to his place, and I'm like, well, what's up with that? He's like, well, I like you, and I don't want you to not like me because my place is gross. And I'm like, dude,
Well, okay, so when I say that my boyfriend's bedroom is gross, I'm not saying that my bedroom isn't disgusting, because my bedroom is also, very, I'm a messy. I'm a messy
I think girls
girl.
and guys are different in their types of messy. I'm messy with clothes,
Yeah.
my room is clean right now, but that's because my room's clean for 2 reasons. I'm kind of seeing somebody, and then I had my Airbnb this last weekend, so that's why it's clean. I had to have reasons for it to be clean. Otherwise, I'm messy with clothes. I think guys are messy with food.
There is truth to that. There are definitely clothes all over my floor, and he has he has weird things all around his room.
Weird things.
Well, let's see, I have no problem. I don't have a problem with it either. It's just when it comes to sleeping, I just can't be comfortable per se. So it's not me judging him. I don't want to judge him.
So, but what do you mean by weird? Is it a earwax collection?
Well, no,
Is
not
it
toenails or anything like that. But I'll find today, I was leaving and his drawer was just open because and there's candy in there and like I said, bottles and also it's not, I guess I'm making it sound worse than it is. It's nothing weird, but you said food or things like that.
I think guys will just leave a cereal bowl in their kitchen full of milk
Sure.
for 3 days and not clean it. I think that's what makes guys gross. Girls, we're gross in a different way.
Yeah.
Maybe there's hair in the bathroom or makeup places, or it's mostly clothes. For me, I just have way too many clothes.
I have a lot of clothes, and there's always hair in my sink for sure.
Yeah, I have way too many clothes. I should be giving more away, but the problem is I haven't changed a ton in size in the last many years, so
right.
it's oh, I can still fit into mostly dresses and pants. There's some that I'd like to squeeze into, and it's still hopeful. It's oh, I'm gonna hold on to those just in case.
It's actually weird and maybe unhealthy that I keep so many clothes because I gained. I'm gonna preface this with like, yeah, like I like my body. It's totally fine. I'm not like fishing for whatever. But I gained like a lot of weight from like last year to now.
What's like a lot though? Because
I don't know.
I still
like,
think of you as really tiny. Like, what's a lot for
I know
you?
a lot
Like,
of people think I'm really tiny. I mean, I am, I guess, a small person. I don't know. Like I used to have, again, not complaining. My stomach used to be like flat, like flat. And now it's like, it's just not, and that's just what happens.
I'll tell you something. As you get older, that just happens.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, now it's like, is it because I'm eating shitty, or is it because my metabolism is slowing down because I'm getting older? But I think I just kind of have, like, my diet has been very shitty the last, like, I don't know, like 4 months or so. And so I kind of need to...
Is that about when your foot thing happened?
Well, the foot thing happened, like, I guess now it's, like, almost a couple months ago, and absolutely when I was, so I broke my foot, for those of you who don't know, Paula broke her foot. I broke my foot, and then I had surgery, and so I spent a lot of time on the couch, and definitely during that time, like, I wasn't moving around very much, obviously. And I was, like, sad, so I was just eating. Like, I was just like, I deserve it every day to order food. And, like,
exactly. So you're like, you know, fuck it. I'm on these meds. I can't drink alcohol. Yeah. I'm going to eat.
That's pretty much what it was. But I was, like, ordering food, like, every day and just being really, and, like, Postmating, like, giant, like, Starbucks, like sweet, like frappe, whatever.
What did we do before Postmates? Like, if you broke your foot, like, what did you do? What would we do?
I didn't even know it was a thing because I am 100 years old and I am not tech savvy. I'm not app savvy.
For those of you that don't know, Postmates is like a delivery service where you can get anything delivered at any time. You can be like, hey, I want gummy bears at 3 a.m. and they will.
It's crazy. It's so cool.
Yeah.
I posted something on Facebook like, I'm sad, like, I want Starbucks, because I couldn't leave the house, and I can't remember who it was, but some comment, I don't know, a friend was just like, God, you idiot, use Postmate, and I was like, what's that? And then, like, within, like, half an hour I was just like, I downloaded it and then had Starbucks.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
Yeah, it's technology. Like, this is why our generation's getting lazier. We don't even, the one I want to start using is, I hate doing laundry because I have too many clothes. So I want to start doing that. Like, I think there's an app for that for laundry. I'll have to look that up.
How does that work?
I don't know, but I just want I've done it for cleaning people. That's what I would do. I've only done it a couple times for, like, the Airbnb, but, like, definitely done it to clean my apartment, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like, that's the one thing I really don't like is, like clothes, like folding clothes and
more
cleaning.
Dishes. I hate dishes.
I can do dishes.
I don't like wet food.
What?
I don't like wet food.
Oh.
Like, well, because I don't have a dishwasher. So that's the thing. So I get as much as I can off of the plate beforehand, but it's like, wet food makes me, like, throw up a little bit.
Yeah.
Out of my face.
That makes, yeah.
Yeah.
So that, we took a long tangent from sleeping.
Yeah. Sorry.
No worries. No, but that's interesting. I think that, guys and girls have very different perspectives on what they consider clean or not clean and what they can sleep in. I think guys just don't care. They can sleep anywhere.
Yeah.
I can sleep anywhere, but
but you have, like,
I have a thing for that. Yeah. I have a thing for that, but, like, I don't think I've ever, like... Yeah, wait, now I think about it. I think that there definitely have been, but it's been guy friends, not guys I was interested in. I've definitely been over to guy friends' houses where I was like, oh my God, how do you live like this,
It's, well, like I said, like, yeah, it's, with my partner or whatever, like, it's really, like, it's, I guess, technically gross. But again, like, I can't judge him for it.
Are you worried he's going to listen to this?
No. Well, actually, maybe a little bit, but, like, it's really not, like, a judgment thing. It's just, like, it's hard for me to fall asleep on, like... And also, like, he kind of... Does
he take over the bed?
He does, but then you can't wake him up. Like, you like, literally, like, you can't... He just... It doesn't...
He's a heavy sleeper.
So, like, he's a very heavy sleeper, so, like... It's a combination of things, like, that makes it a little bit hard. And I like sleeping there, because I like being, in his space too. Like, I don't like everything being, like, in my space. So, I like it, but it's hard for me to
Yeah.
stay asleep there.
Wow. So only slept for 3 hours. That's insane.
And like I said, I'm gonna, like, probably after I leave here, I'm gonna, like, fall asleep in my Uber or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another technology reference.
Yeah. Apps.
So you told me before that you have some weird sleep stuff that you do. You do sleep paralysis?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should I just explain?
Yeah.
So, sleep paralysis is... It usually happens... Okay, so they say it's brought on by inconsistent sleeping patterns or stress.
Yep.
And it usually happens to people when they're laying on their back. And what happens when you're in a sleep paralysis is happening to you is, like, you're in REM sleep and your body's paralyzed because when you're dreaming, obviously you can't, it does that so you don't move around.
Yeah.
And what happens is, like, you like kind of wake up, but your body's still paralyzed, and you can, open your eyes, and you can kind of, like, wiggle your toes if you're lucky. Mm-hmm. But basically, you're just laying in bed or wherever, or in a dirty bed, or, like, wherever you sleep. If you're homeless, like, you could still have it.
We don't discriminate, so, homeless people have weird sleep stuff.
Exactly. So you basically wake up and you can't move, and it's
Terrifying.
Terrifying. And what's more terrifying is reading, like, other people's stories and theories about it. Because what it comes down to is, like, you just kind of wake up, your body's paralyzed, that's the science behind it, and I'm gonna stick with that because, like, once you keep reading about it, people are like, oh, it's like ghosts, or, like, because you feel like you...
Some people, there's different consistencies, too, people have. Like, so, like, when I've had it a lot in my life, and I usually would have it... and have a hallucination on top of it.
Yeah, I hallucinate.
And so some people have hallucinations, some people just stay frozen.
Yeah.
And so there's that weird thing. And then there's some people that try to, like I've done that too, where you try to mentally, like, move a part of your body.
Yeah.
And you're like, I would do that in class. I'd try to, like, move my head.
Yeah.
I would have it, like, laying down in class, and I could hear everything that was going on. That's why I didn't fail classes.
That's so funny.
But I would...
So you were absorbing the information while you were paralyzed?
Yeah. I could hear what was going on in school, but it would... There were two things that brought me out of it. If people physically touched me or if they said my name.
Okay.
And so, like, if the teacher called my name, Sarah, what was the answer to that question? I would actually know the answer because I could hear what was going on.
That's... Okay, so I guess just the idea of absorbing information in a classroom context is very interesting to me because, like, sometimes I'll fall asleep with the...
Now, it was a Kentucky public school. I'm not saying it was like a high...
Well, no, I know, but I'm saying, like, just that's just interesting that our bodies do that. Like, I'll hear the TV... And I'll hear, like, other stuff going on around me. But
sometimes it would turn into a weird dream.
Well, yeah, that's why I say that it's, like, interesting that you're able to, like, absorb, like, new information at in a learning room in a class. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
I guess it's
like,
just
in
a
a
lot,
room where you're, like, supposed to be, like, learning stuff, you were, like, paralyzed, but you were also, like, taking in new information and processing it and, like, storing it in your brain while you're sleeping.
I guess it does say something about our brains. Like, if like as a kid, like, if you're sleeping and the TV's on, like, how much that could affect you.
Yeah.
Things like that. I never thought about that. That's a cool way to think about it. What are some of the weird theories about it?
So, since when it happens, generally, like I said, people are on their back, they'll feel pressure, or they'll feel, like, right here pressure or here pressure, and
like something invisible is pushing them down.
Kind of, yeah. Just, like, weight from people, and like you said, people differ in how they kind of perceive it in a dream state. So, and then your, like, breathing kind of is, like, shallower, and that's really scary, because, like, every time that happens to me, I'm like, oh, like, this is how I die, like, most of the time I think I'm gonna die, but,
And the weird thing is, no matter how much you've had it, you still have that initial fear. It's like...
it doesn't go away.
It's not like, hey, I know what this is, it'll be gone in a little bit.
I know what it is, but I'm always like, well, this is the time I don't come out of it, maybe. Like,
yeah, there's still this weird fear, I think, that happens on top of it. It's not like when you get used to something that can be scary, you're like, okay, I've been through this before, I can survive this. I don't feel like you think that
No.
Like, when you have a sleep paralysis, every time you're thinking, oh, I'm gonna die.
Well, because it's just like...
I'm never gonna wake up.
Yeah, it's very scary every time, and, they say don't panic because that makes it last longer. And one of the freaky things about it is it could last like a couple minutes, but it feels like an hour or like something like it's. But I definitely hallucinate with the pressure on my chest. There's been a couple times where I guess I feel like someone, like a being is like pushing on me, but like it's very rare that I take it to that place. Like that kind of, a lot of people say that they feel a negative presence in the room.
Or like I've heard people. There's a couple things I hear that are recurring. Spiders, which was from when I did, like spider crawling, or like a figure in the corner, or someone trying to get into the room.
I hate it.
Those are the most. Those are the, because I've had quite a few, and it's surprising how many people. I think a lot of people experience it in their life, but few people have it all the time or regularly.
I do have it all the time, and like I said, like sometimes I do have those scary things happen to me where, like you said, like someone. I nap on my couch a lot, so I'll like dream that someone's breaking into the house, and I can't move, or I'll dream that. So I take care of kids, and during their nap time, sometimes I'll take a nap because they don't, they can wake me up whenever they want. But sometimes like I'll get it when I'm like babysitting, and then I dream that the kid like can't wake me up. It's really scary.
Oh, that's scary. So I have a question. When you do that, are the kids actually trying to wake you up, or
they're sleeping?
Oh,
so it's like a dream because you're still like technically dreaming.
So it's a hallucination. Yeah,
it's a hallucination. So I'll dream that I hear them trying to wake me up, or I'll dream that like my mom is trying to wake me up, or like that's like the most consistent thing is being like dreaming that I'm paralyzed and someone's trying to wake me up and they can't,
and they think you're like in a coma or something.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah,
man.
it fucking sucks.
I really wonder what yeah, that's so crazy.
But then I'm grateful that like people, like you said, like seeing like figure in the corner. Like my biggest fear, everyone has one, I think. Mine is ghosts. I don't know why. I'm very afraid of ghosts. So like I think that my brain kind of is like goes a little bit easy on me and tries to like not make it too scary.
Yeah.
Although there's been times.
But you live in a house that feels like
it's haunted as shit.
Yeah, like
my house. There's weird shit all over
Paula's
my house.
Is like you could imagine it like in a Tim Burton film. Like it's like a.
Well, I like
the outside of it.
The outside and the inside. Like antique dolls. We have like.
And I mean that in a I don't mean that in
it's totally. I'm fine with it. I don't take it as an insult because like that's what I'm into. I like creepy things. My bedroom has like limbs.
Wait, what? So you said your boyfriend had weird things in his bedroom.
I know.
And you're like, I have limbs in my bedroom.
He's a weirdo. He has candy in his room, and I have like Halloween like decorations kind of year round. I have a bat for my light, and so I like creepy things. I find them very stimulating, and I'm a big horror movie fan and that kind of thing. But I don't know. I'm just scared of ghosts.
You're scared. Did you see a ghost as a kid?
No, because I want to not believe in them. There's a couple things that kind of freaked me out. Actually, sleep paralysis is one of the reasons, because I don't know, like, I don't feel a presence in the room all the time, but there have been times where I'll feel like something like that, or like hands, or like someone pulling my feet, or like really creepy stuff like that. And then when I was younger, I was sleeping on the couch and I saw a person standing in front of me, and that was like the scariest thing that's ever happened to me.
And this was not a real person?
No.
So this was like a traumatized thing as a kid, and like you that's why you're afraid of ghosts?
I think that it's more to do with when I was a kid, all I read was like about all I read about was like serial killers and like haunted places.
Wait, why as a kid did you read about serial
because
killers?
My parents were like, well, she's reading, and like they kind of just like
they're like, hey, we're happy she's reading.
Yeah,
it's okay if she's reading about serial killers. It's not gonna affect her at all. No big deal.
Yeah, it's just like what I was, and like I didn't grow up to be a serial killer, so like it's fine. But that's just what I thought the psychology behind it was really interesting, and it's creepy. Like I just like creepy things. Like I'm stimulated by things that are very creepy, but so I would read about like haunted places in Chicago, and like.
Did you ever read about Waverly Place and Waverly Institution in Louisville, Kentucky?
I don't know. I can't even read this this shit anymore.
Does it scare you?
It scares me a lot, and also the movie The Sixth Sense broke my brain forever.
Did you ever see What Lies Beneath?
I did. I think
that one I thought
with Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah, and Harrison Ford.
Oh, I don't want to think about it.
Oh, sorry, am I scaring you just thinking about it?
I can't. Yeah, I get really weird. It's like it's my thing. Like everyone has their
so you
arachnophobia or like
you love horror movies,
yeah.
but you're terrified of ghosts.
Yes. Well, I don't watch supernatural movies. I watch like
Murder.
Like, yeah, and I'm fine with like zombies and stuff like that because it's like
Zombies, vampires, werewolves, totally okay.
all that's fine.
Ghosts. What about like the friendly ghosts, like in Harry Potter, the ghosts in that?
No,
you don't even like friendly ghosts?
No, fuck Casper.
So if you saw Casper, you'd be like, "Fuck you!"
I would be swinging a like.
So no Ghostbusters.
I like Ghostbusters. That one's like less creepy. I mean, it depends on how it's like. If it's in a movie, it depends on how it's presented. Like in The Sixth Sense, it was just like they were like people, and like that scared the shit out of me
because they were very realistic.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Wow,
I don't like it. But like I said, like everyone has their like people are scared of spiders or snakes or like whatever.
In your sleep paralysis, do ghosts appear?
No, not just outside of that one like lady that I saw, and outside of like feeling like hands on me sometimes. No. But I have dreams about, like, people I know who are dead, like, all the time.
Oh, really?
Like, constantly. Like, my dad died, I guess it's, like, so bad with time. It was, like, 3 or 4 years ago, and it sounds weird that I can't remember. But, and I see him, like, every night in my dreams.
Well, I think that those things tell you stuff. Like, I mean, I think that when you're dreaming about a certain person, like, sometimes I'll literally just call people. I'll be like, hey, you know, are you doing okay? Or, like, you know, and I think that, I don't know, I think that might, maybe because he knows you're afraid of ghosts, he doesn't want to visit you as a ghost. He tries to visit you in your dreams.
That's what, yeah, and I want to believe that. I had, like, one dream where we were just sitting, like, he was driving me around, or I was in the passenger seat, we were just driving, I don't know where, and I was having, like, boy trouble or something, and I was like, Dad, what's the deal with life? Like, what do I do? Why is it so dumb? And he gave me advice, but then when he was done giving me advice, he was like, okay, now you can listen to this advice, but remember that this is just your subconscious, and I'm not really here, and you just gave yourself advice.
What?
Yeah,
Wait.
I swear to God. I have a very active dream. Like, I could go on about my dreams, because I'm very, they're
Oh, I think that's
crazy.
Great. No, the fact that he called out your own subconscious, and so you don't have to admit, you're not, you know that you're manifesting him, and he's not really there. Whoa.
Yeah, but it's like almost every night I feel that he's like in there somewhere. It's so weird.
But that's...
For years. It's like...
So you remember a lot of your dreams?
Yeah. I remember most of my like scariest nightmares.
So you have nightmares a lot?
I think I have them more when I'm stressed out. Or dehydrated.
That's interesting. Wait,
I guess that's a thing. I was reading about it.
Huh, I didn't
So like when you go to bed dehydrated, your body's like... Just, I don't know. There could be no...
I've done the thing where I've had, like, the pain in my, like, calf because I was dehydrated.
Oh, that's
like,
never happened to me.
Oh, God, you wake up and there's horrible pain in your calf that you have to just, like, wait it out. It's awful. But I've read that comes from being dehydrated.
Oh, I don't think I've ever had that happen to me.
Just don't go to bed dehydrated. It's awful.
I just had a nightmare and I wish I could remember what it was.
Like, do you wake up in a sweat? Like, are you, like...
I wake up... A lot of my nightmares are, again, like, dead... Like, or not dead people. Like, it's, like, ghost stuff. That's the stuff that really scares me. But at the same time, when I'm dreaming... Like, with sleep paralysis, I can't wake myself up unless I hear a sound or whatever. When I'm dreaming, I can wake myself up if I want to.
Oh, just...
So, like, when I have...
you lucid dream?
Pretty much. Most of the time, I know I'm dreaming. Like, I'd say, like, 90...
So, do you control your dreams, though?
I try to, yeah.
Yeah, what do you do when you control
I fly.
Okay. I love flying. That's my favorite.
Okay, so I'll fly. I'll be like, oh, I'm asleep in bed. Better, like, fly out the window. Like, here we go. And I'll go out my window, and sometimes it takes me a couple tries. And then,
I love that even in your dreams, you're not perfect. You can't always.
And then I'll try and make people appear, like people I want to see, or like hang out with, or like make out with, or whatever, and
have sex with, you know.
People want to fuck. I mean, if you're not doing that with your dreams, you're dumb.
Yeah, exactly. If you're like, lucid dreaming and you're not flying or fucking, there's something wrong with you.
It's not cheating. Like I had a sex dream about Jack White, and that's like my number one celebrity crush, and that was like the best day. But yeah, so I'll like go out my window and I'll walk around and I'll try and make people appear. I remember I had a dream recently where I was like, I feel like I want to be in New Orleans right now. And so I kind of just like ended up there. And then a lot of the time I just end up talking to friends and stuff, but like it's never anything too crazy. If I'm able to manipulate anything in my dreams, it's like not the people, it's like the surroundings.
Okay, so you're like, hey, I want to be in Paris, or I want to be...
Or like I'll try and like make everything around me like really like beautiful and like serene, like just like really nice and like, you know, kind of like being like high almost. I don't know how to, that sounds weird.
No, I get what you mean. Like I've definitely done the thing where it's like, oh, like almost taking a paintbrush and painting like the sky, like a cool sunset and like adjusting it, you know?
Yeah, it just like, just to like make yourself like feel like peaceful and happy and like, maybe not like euphoric, but like as close as you can get to that is like always kind of the goal. Maybe.
Yeah.
And then fucking.
Yeah, of course. You're like, hey, I want to have the most beautiful atmosphere, and then I just want to come
and then
a lot.
I just want to just...
Have you ever had an experience where your dream was so realistic that you had reactions like that in real life?
What? How do you mean?
Like, I personally have definitely had some where I've dreamt about sex and physically reacted.
Oh, I think everyone does that.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
Yeah. Like, you know.
I think that's just, no, I think everyone kind of does that. Sorry, I'm gonna...
Yeah, no. Although it's kind of awkward if you do it next to a guy you're seeing.
That's true. Well, that's the other thing with sleep paralysis, like, it sucks laying next to someone who could easily just be like, hey, and, like, wake you up.
And you're like, why don't you wake me up?
But you're, like, literally just, like, you can't. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'll try, what I do now is, like, I'll try and, since I can't move, I'll try and breathe really heavily, because sound wakes me up.
Oh.
So I'll try and make, like, sounds with my mouth.
See, every time I try in sleep paralysis, I'll try to scream, and you can't. Like, you know.
That's the scariest thing is, like... Or, like, I'll think I'm screaming and I'm not. Or I think that I'm doing this, but my body's, like... I can feel myself doing this. My body's just, like, not moving.
One time I was in sleep paralysis, and it was an old roommate was in the room, and I was like... And I was able to kind of say, slap me. like, and she's like, wait, do you want me to slap you? And, like, because I was trying to get her to wake me up, and she slapped me, and it woke me up.
That's so scary.
And I was like, thank you. But,
Jesus Christ, that's horrible.
But, like, I was having an awful sleep paralysis. I was, like, really scared. And she was, you know, because I was trying to move, and she was a little freaked out because I was, like, sitting up, and I was trying to get out of this dream. I don't know if it was really even a sleep paralysis.
God,
exactly, or just a hallucination. But I was just, like, this is in college. Mm-hmm. And there's a couple times I freaked her out a little bit. Like,
that's gotta be scary to, like, see someone, like...
Well, and it's just like, hey, I need you to, like... You know, I need to slap me awake. And it's a weird thing, a conversation I had to have. Is just like, oh, yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff. If I sleep on the couch and say shit that doesn't make sense, like, just ignore it. Like,
yeah. I've never, like, I don't talk in my sleep or anything. I think that the sleep paralysis and just having, like, really lucid dreams is, like, my, like... I mean, my boyfriend sleepwalks sometimes, which is...
So that's interesting. So you stay still during your sleep. He moves. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Does he do, like, wind chimes or anything in the door or anything to stop him?
Well, no, because there's, I don't have a lock on my door. And also my foot has been broken. So, like, it's really hard for me to, like, chase him.
Wait, hold on. Your boyfriend sleepwalks so much that you chase him?
Not all the time. No, he doesn't sleepwalk that much. But when he has, like, I have to, like, put him back in the...
Like, how often?
Let's see. We've been together for, like, a little tiny bit over a year. And it's been, like... It really hasn't been that much. It's been, like... I want to say, like, 6 times with, like, walking. But then the rest of the time, he does talk in his sleep and that kind of thing.
So... Like,
I live with my mom right now, so he can't, like...
How far did he get, is my question. Like, does he get down the hall? Does he get...
He'll go down this... Because I'm on the second floor. Like I said, I live with my mom because that's what adults do.
Hey.
I'm on the second floor, so, like, that's my space. Like, that's... The whole second floor is, like, for me. And then he'll go downstairs, and then... I don't want to talk about...
Oh, sorry.
No, but, like, yeah, that's his... He'll get pretty far, yeah.
So that's pretty far.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But he hasn't, like, gone out to the street or anything, or...
Not that I know. I mean, his roommate, I think, told me he tried to go outside, but I don't know if I'm remembering that correctly. I don't know.
Man.
He doesn't do anything. It's, like, it's harmless. It's just, like I said, like...
It's just him.
I live with my mom, and I can't, like, I'm scared he's gonna, like, crawl into her bed, or, like...
Oh, my uncle sleepwalks, and one night he tried to, like, it was, in my parents, I was, like, a kid. This is just a story that was passed on. Like, one night, they were drinking or whatever, and my aunt and uncle were staying in one room, and then my mom and dad were staying in another, and then my mom and her sister's mother was staying in another room, and he somehow, like, he somehow got into he, like, walked around naked. He was naked. He slept naked. He walked around naked and, like, went into my parents' bedroom and just stole a pillow and woke up next to, like, having an extra pillow, like, something crazy like that. Boy. And it's just like, okay, I don't know.
That sucks.
I might not be, but it's like something they laugh about now or something, but it's like.
What a traumatizing, were you there?
No, I wasn't, no,
okay, I was going to say, like, what a traumatizing memory.
No, I don't remember that.
For a child.
No, I just remember them telling it as a kid. It was like a lighthearted thing. They were like, oh, like, we just thought he was super drunk. We didn't realize he was sleepwalking.
I have sleptwalked when I take sleeping pills. I have a lot of stories about that.
Do they have that as, like, a side effect? Might sleepwalk.
Yeah, it's a lot of most prescription sleeping pills. They'll say like some of the side effects are like sleep cooking, sleepwalking.
Wait, sleep cooking?
Yeah, I've cooked in my sleep before.
What did you cook?
Eggs.
Like did you actually cook them?
Or like I like to eat ramen with eggs. Like I'll make ramen up with eggs in it. I've made that before.
You completely made it?
And then I don't remember the next day. Yeah.
You completely made it?
Safely made it. Yeah.
So do you think that maybe it's just like a blackout? Like you doing
It's probably more of a blackout than it is sleepwalking, because the next day either way I wouldn't remember the next day, but it's probably a little bit more like a blackout.
Okay. Because that's really weird. I didn't realize that you do that stuff. It's like you don't remember.
Yeah, people drive, they have sex, they cook, and they just do all kinds of weird shit.
Wow. I don't know. That's
especially on Ambien. The one that I take actually used to make me hallucinate. Is
that a side effect too listed?
Yeah, it is. And like I don't take drugs. Like I drink. I can't even smoke pot. I don't take like Molly, shrooms, whatever people do. I can't do it because I get too paranoid and I don't like hallucinating and I don't like it. It's never been fun for me. But with these, like I would take them and you kind of like your brain is like going to sleep, so you're like really relaxed, and so you would just see like the kind of like movement, and you would be pretty okay with it. You'd be like, oh, that's weird. Like I didn't know my dresser moved.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know my dresser. Like
yeah. I used to have those little ones too. Just I didn't have to take any medicine. It would just happen.
Oh really?
Like sometimes, yeah. Like sometimes they'd be fun, but then sometimes they were scary. Sometimes they'd still be I'd still be unable to move. Like but sometimes it would just be something little, like a little lamp moving.
Yeah.
Like I even thought to myself, I wonder how this is why Pixar thought of that, because the lamp. Like what if they hallucinated a lamp, and that's why. Like I think these stupid thoughts. It's like my lamp is dancing. Maybe that's how Pixar came up with their lamp.
My lamp is the Pixar lamp.
I wasn't that. Like, I wasn't like that. That would be something I would say if I was like tripping. But like in my head, it's like little tiny things, like or the window gets bigger or smaller.
Oh, cool.
Or like little things like
that's kind of cool.
But a lot of it's light. For me, it's like light. If like a light's on, the light'll dance, or like if there's a reflection.
That's harmless enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have text messages between me and my friend Rob from like I don't know. It was like maybe a couple of years ago when he used to live here, and I took like my sleeping pills, and he was like, describe your like trip to me, and I was like, there's little guys hanging from my fan and they're fighting, but they're friends. Like it's just like nonsensical. It's just really weird. But like the whole time I was like really relaxed, which is like not like me. Like that's not how I am with regular drugs. It's just things that like are so like, you know.
Well, it seems like your dreams are almost like better than taking drugs anyway. Like see, with being able to lucid dream so much.
Yeah, I'd say so. I wasn't taking the sleeping pills to trip. I was taking them to go to sleep. It just happened to be like a side effect. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't like, I'm gonna get all like gopped up on goop. It was like
gopped up on goop. This seems like a line in something. This seems like something you put on the t-shirt. I'm gonna get all gopped up on goop.
I can't remember where I learned that, but it's like my favorite way of saying like all fucked up on drugs. But
gopped up on goop. I love that. I'm gonna use that.
So yeah, that's not why I was because I have trouble sleeping.
So you have trouble sleeping. Like, do you think you're an insomniac or?
I mean, I have the prescription because I could go like not maybe like a couple days without sleeping, but like not because I want to. Like I'll be miserable the entire time.
So do you? Well, you know the whole thing. If sorry. I'm not gonna fall asleep during this podcast. Don't worry.
Okay.
You know the thing where if you stay up for 72 hours straight, you're like legally insane, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure. Like, yeah. So like,
well, yeah.
have you ever stayed up that late?
Yeah.
What
yeah,
happened?
and you get like you have these like physical symptoms where like it's almost like euphoric because your adrenaline kicks in a way that like everything's like nice. I don't know, and you become like hyper creative because you think all of your thoughts are like gold, and then you
like, best joke ever.
Yeah, exactly, and it's just like. Nothing like it's like scribbling in numbers like and then you'll have like little hallucinations, not anything big, but you'll like see like a flicker of something that's like not there. It's not too crazy. I mean, like, you know, that's when I will call the doctor and be like, hey, like I need to go to sleep or I'm gonna like do weird things. Like I need to sleep soon. So actually, like I have a prescription for sleep. I'm gonna get it filled soon for it's like I have sleeping pills and then like...
Have you ever done a sleep study?
I have.
Where they plugged everything up to your chest and your head and all that? Yeah.
Well, I have asthma, so they wanted to check if I had apnea, and I don't, which is great. But it's funny because like when they were doing the sleep study, I had a paralysis episode, and I called the nurse in the room and I was like, there's bugs on my, like, they have like a curtain, and I was like, there's bugs on my curtain, and they were like, go to sleep, you weirdo, like there's no bugs on your curtain.
When I was, it's so crazy that you said bugs, because when I was when I got my first sleep study done at 16, because this is when they first were diagnosing me properly with narcolepsy, the first thing that they did, like, because they were tested, they had all the things on the shock, and then they do this thing, they do the night test, and in the morning for narcoleptics, it's like they try to wake you up like every 15 minutes and see like how quickly you go to sleep.
Yeah.
So like one time they woke me up, because my parents were like watching this, you know, just seeing how I was reacting and watching the monitors and stuff. So they said that one time within 20 seconds, I told my mom, I said out loud, I said, there's bugs all over me. They're shocking me. And I was just talking.
Because it was
because I felt like those were like bugs. And then but that's because I was already in REM and in like within 20 seconds of sleeping.
Yeah.
So like,
wow.
But it's so funny that you said bugs too, because I think with all those things, there's like 20 things stuck to your chest and like 10 things stuck to your head and monitor.
It feels like that. Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. It's,
oof.
I think it's kind of crazy how a lot of people have shared dreams or similar stuff like that.
Yeah,
through the same experience.
I think the bug thing is another common paralysis thing. Or I've read a lot of people, like, I get this too, where like I'll see like nets on my ceiling. I don't really know how to describe it. Like
netting.
Yeah, like, or if you can imagine like tiny hammocks all over. I mean,
okay, yeah,
but like it's all connected.
Weird.
I don't know I don't know why, but that's just for whatever reason. That's another common one. But what's really crazy is, like, my dad and I have two older brothers and two older sisters, and a couple of my siblings and my dad
share a dream.
Kind of. We just like all have always had that, like, the sleep paralysis and like the hallucinations, and like we all like have like really intense like end of the world dreams, and I think it's interesting.
Do you ever have them on the same night?
No, nothing like that. It's not that crazy. Although there was one time when I was younger, my sister used to live in the basement, and my other sister was living in the house also. And like I said, I never sleepwalk unless I'm like, you know, like sleeping pills or whatever. And I wasn't on sleeping pills, and I sleptwalked downstairs into my sister's bed. And my other sister sleptwalked downstairs into my sister's bed, and we all woke up in the same bed. It was really weird.
Did you scream when you woke up? What happened?
I was fine. I woke up and I was like, had to get ready for grade school. I don't remember what grade I was in.
Oh, so you were like a kid.
I was a kid.
Oh, wow.
So my mom couldn't find me in the morning.
Oh, that would be scary.
And then she found me downstairs, and we all I don't know why. Wow. Isn't that weird?
I think this is so interesting. I think there's so many different things with shared consciousness and things like that. Like, maybe your other sister was scared or something, and both of you felt that and, like, you know, wanted to walk.
It creeps me out. Like, I almost, like, I think it's interesting, but, like, sometimes I, like, almost don't want to think about it because it scares the shit about
it.
Yeah.
What? Does it scare you to think about having a shared consciousness, or?
I guess not. I don't know. It's just, like, I guess because it's, like, something I don't understand, like, that I'll never actually understand. It, like, is scary in that way. Like, if there was, like, a solid explanation for something like that. Because it's, like, one of those things that, like, you know, it's not, you know, modern science can't even, like, technically say, like, oh, that's exactly what happened. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's not, and I'm not, like, scared of, like, I don't think it's that I'm scared of it. It's just, it's the idea of, like, something that's, like, bigger than me. Like, it's just kind of, it's because I don't understand it. It's just, like, a little bit, like, creepy, you know?
Is that, I guess it also explains your fear of ghosts a little bit more.
Yeah.
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 So it's, like, things that you can't fully explain or understand.
Yeah, it just creeps me out. And I, like, you know, I won't, like, I'm not ignorant about it. I'm not like, la 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 la, but, I mean, I kind of am. But, like, it's not, like, but it's because, you know, there's no definite answer for why those things happen, and it creeps me out. It almost creeps me out to know that there could potentially be a definite answer. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, I almost don't want to, and I think it's cool, and I'm glad that I can, like, lucid dream and all that stuff, but it's, like, it's just, like, something that's, like, bigger than you. It's, like, kind of intimidating and weird.
I guess you're right. Yeah, something, like, way bigger, makes you feel a lot smaller, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the reasoning behind
that makes sense.
Fears, yeah.
Yeah, I think, well, everyone's got different fears for different reasons, you know, and I think dreams and nightmares kind of take that over and take that into a different part, you know?
What are your nightmares like?
Most of my nightmares, a lot of them involve falling asleep at really inopportune times, like I've had nightmares where I'm driving a group of close friends of mine and I fall asleep at the wheel and I can't wake up. I've had some really vivid nightmares. A lot of car crashes, which is really weird. A lot of, I've had other, like, nightmares. A lot of nightmares I've had, like, I wake up and I missed a show, or...
Oh, yeah, that's a common one.
Yeah, I missed a show, or I missed work, or something happened and I was late for it and I missed it, or, like, it was something important and I couldn't be there. A lot of, like, things like that. Like, a lot of mine involves, like, sleep, like, being the thing I can't overcome.
Okay.
Like
well,
because,
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, for sleeping a lot, like, that's just, like, a lot of it is, like, sleep up being the thing I can't seem to get past and it's hindering me in some way. Like,
yeah.
It can even be, like, in, like, little ways, you know, like, oh, I miss a date or things like that, which, like, I haven't exactly missed a date, but I've definitely been, like, 25 minutes late to a date because I fell asleep, you know?
So that's
so it's like it's a very realistic. I think my nightmares are a little bit more realistic, which is why I think they're scarier sometimes.
Yeah.
But then sometimes I have really, really out there scary dreams where, like, I'm in a crazy situation, but in my head it's believable. Does that make sense? Like, I'm, you know...
Were you, like... Oh, yeah. We're inside of the dream.
Inside of the dream, like, I'm in my house, but it's not really my house.
Yeah, that's common. That's super common.
In my house, but not really my house. And I'm talking to my best friend, who's not really my best friend, somebody I've never seen before, pointing a gun at me or something crazy like that.
That's a really common one.
You know, that kind of stuff. But really... I don't know, like, a lot of it hasn't been... I don't have that many nightmares that I remember, actually. A lot of the scariest things that I do remember are usually the sleep paralysis hallucinations that happen. Yeah. But a lot of it is, like, like, being late to stuff, missing out, like... But the scariest ones have definitely been car crashes, like...
Yeah.
And where, like, I've been driving and I'm responsible for someone and I fall asleep and I can't... And,
God, like, that sucks.
And, like... And it's, like, that doesn't happen that often, but, like, that's, like, probably the scariest dreams I've had. Because I'll wake up, like, crying, like, feeling like I killed my friends, like, in a car crash really because I fell asleep. Which is why I'm very paranoid, and I'm, like, I don't drive very far. Like, I'll drive an hour and a half-ish by myself, max. Mm-hmm. You know? If I have a friend in the car, I can drive a long time. You know, I can drive for 4 or 5 hours.
Safer that way,
yeah. But, like, to be safe, I just don't do that. Like, that's one of my biggest fears, I think.
That sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, mine are just the the ghost stuff, and then like poltergeisty stuff, and then
poltergeisty stuff.
Well, like stuff moving, like that kind of thing, which is like just ghosts.
Yeah.
And then
Do you ever think that maybe like it wasn't a dream, that it was just
no.
Nope. Okay. No. Oh, am I scaring you too much? Sorry.
Yeah. It's like that, and then I have a lot of end of the world and natural disaster dreams.
Like what?
Like buildings crumbling on top of me.
Oh wow.
And then really weird ones that don't make any sense. Like, I had one that I had, like, over a year ago that I just remember, where the world was ending, and for whatever reason, the ocean was, like, something... okay, this makes no sense. It makes zero sense. So, like, for whatever reason, the world was, like, collapsing in on itself, or, like, the ocean was the sky, and the I don't know. But basically, like, the ocean was going to come... Or, like, water. All of the water in the world was going to come down on all of the land in the world.
Oh wow!
So I remember in the dream I was like looking out of my front window, and like everyone was really scared because like they knew that this was gonna happen and that it was like there's no way you can stop something like that. And so we were like, oh shit, like it's starting, and it just started with like small drips, and then like a whale fell out of the sky, and like a bunch of like sea creatures fell out of the sky, and then just water.
So it's like the world was turned upside down.
Yeah. So I have like really weird ones.
But that sounds, I mean, that visually sounds cool. I get that
it was
that's
cool,
terrifying.
but it was terrible. It was always like really quiet, and like that, and then it just like slowly started to happen. So it was really creepy. And then I have a lot of like bomb, like you know, getting bombed and stuff like that.
Oh wow, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, it's that. Those aren't my favorite. And that's another one. Like my brother says he has those a lot. My dad had a lot of end of the world dreams, and then I'm scared of natural disasters.
Yeah, is this why you live in the Midwest? Because it's kind of furthest away.
Yeah.
From you're not near any of the coast, so if there was something, you'd be pretty safe.
One of the last times I went to New Orleans, there was a hurricane watch, and I like was like having panic attacks the whole time. Like I couldn't, and like that's where obviously where like Katrina happened. So I was like freaking out.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah,
because I don't know how to cope with it. I'm not used to it. Like I'm used to blizzards.
Yeah.
I'm not used to strong winds and like flooding. Really,
I'm used to tornadoes because from Louisville there's like a lot of tornadoes, and like I feel like people freak out about them here in the Midwest. Yeah.
I would freak out about it, but then people freak out about blizzards in Atlanta. Yeah,
like their highway shuts down when there's 2 inches of snow.
Yeah, it just comes down to like what you're used to. Like had I grown up around like, you know, hurricanes or tornadoes being a normal thing, then I would be fine with it. But I'm just like very
like same with earthquakes, like in California. I guess it's like a normal thing. But like,
so that's the last like. So there was one time because we did have we've had like a couple earthquakes in Chicago. Mm-hmm. And I felt one of them, it was like in the middle of the night, and it scared the shit out of me because I'm not used to them. And I was like half asleep, half awake, and then it didn't feel like anything else was shaking. I was laying on the couch, and it just felt like the couch was shaking. Oh. And so me being scared of like ghost shit, I fucking flipped out, and I got up, and like this is like a baby move, but I woke up my mom, and I was like, the fucking couch is shaking, and she was like, you're fine, go back to sleep. Which is like an exact scene from the movie The Exorcist. Like she wakes up and her bed's shaking, and she wakes up her mom, and she's like, my bed's shaking, and her mom's like, you're fine. And I was like, fuck. But then I turned on the news so I could fall back asleep, and they were like, Chicago. Yeah, so it was explained really quickly. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad. Wow, that's interesting, though. You got a lot of cool dream stuff going on.
I've got a lot of, there's a lot going on in my...
a lot of stuff going on in your head. That's always, I think it's better for that. And I guess you also, like, fall asleep, like, with all these cool things, like, weird, you know, things in your room or things like that.
Yeah, I've never had, like, nightmares based around those, which is so funny, because people are like, surely, like, this, like, you wake up and you're scared, and I'm like... No, like, these are my things. They're my things. Like, they're, like, comforting to me. We just got this giant painting of this, like, really creepy, like, clown. Mm-hmm. It's, like,
oh,
huge.
God, that would terrify me.
And I want to put it in my room, but, like, all my friends are scared of it.
Oh, my God. I would be terrified.
I love it. I want to have it in my room, but, like... It would scare my boyfriend. It would scare... Well, it's just, like, people don't like... clowns.
Yeah.
I love them.
Definitely they scare me.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I
get why people are scared of them.
I mean, like,
I like the...
Cirque du Soleil clowns I like, but, like, general clowns, like, at night, creepy... I would not want a picture of a clown in my room
it's like a grown man wearing, like... not make. I mean, it is makeup, but like it's like a grown man that looks like a toy almost. Does that make sense? I don't know how to put it.
Wow.
So yeah, it's I get why people are scared of them, but I've never been scared of them.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I think nighttime. That's and it's in a lot of scary movies too. So there's a lot of that.
Yeah. I'm just used to like I have the antique dolls and like all that weird. There's a tiger in my front like window. Like there's a bunch of weird. I think I'm just like used to it.
Wow, that's cool, man.
So like none of that stuff has ever really scared me. It's just ghosts. It's just ghosts. I'm very scared of them. Big ghosts. Yeah. Don't like them. Don't want them. I'm very afraid of them. Yeah.
Well, that's cool. Well, as we're winding down here, I usually ask. We talked about dreams earlier, but I usually ask people like, "What are your dreams for the future?"
To walk normally, for my foot to be completely healed, for my dreams for the future, like long term, like
it can be whatever, however you want to interpret it.
Okay, here we go.
It can be like to never see a ghost again in my entire life.
That is definitely one of my dreams. Also, I want to own. This is like my new thing that like I want to get to a point where I can own a pig. I really want to own a pig.
Like a potbelly pig?
Like I guess I think, and I could be mistaken. I think that it would be like a potbelly pig, but I think that there's like miniature pigs where they don't grow past a certain size, which I would be fine with having a huge one, but like as far as like space, like it's just.
I think potbelly pigs kind of like that.
Yeah.
You could keep them like rabbits. I knew a couple people that had them growing up and.
Yeah,
when I was a kid.
So that's like something I really want. I think I have a lot of pet dreams. Like I really want.
Do you not have any pets?
I have a dog.
Okay.
I want a pet rat, which sounds disgusting. My ideal world, I would have, because I guess they are kept as pets, but it's like really hard and like there's it's. Do you know what capybaras are?
No idea.
They're the largest rodent in the world, and they're really freaky looking. And I think they're really cute, and I want to own one. Their faces look like boxes. They're just like this large rodent, and and I think that they're really cute. So those are.
That's cool.
That's all I think about. Pretty
pets?
Much. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
There's an article a couple years ago that I'll send you. What was it? It was about how they discovered there was an inactive volcano. So like scientists like went down and looked into it, and like these animals had evolved in different ways because they hadn't been around humans. So a rat had evolved to be like 3 foot long.
Jesus,
and
that's weird.
And there was a frog that evolved fangs. A frog
that's kind of cool.
And then there was a parrot that was like 3 inches tall or something. Like they found like all these different creatures, and they weren't afraid of humans because they never experienced them. But like this was all like they evolved strangely over many years. This was
so creepy.
Several years ago, but it makes me think of you if you're like trying to like the weird animals.
Oh
that
yeah,
kind of stuff.
I like weird looking like I'm not a cat person, but if I did have a cat, it would be like a hairless cat or like a Persian cat because they have the like fat heads or fat faces. I mean, it kind of goes back to, like, having, like, weird stuff in my room. I like things that are visually stimulating.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not attracted to, like, conventional beauty because I am. Like, I guess everyone kind of is, but, like, I'd much rather have, like, I like distinct features and I like things that are, like, not
unique.
Boring. And not to say that conventional beauty is boring, but, like, for me personally, like...
Sometimes it is.
I like to be kind of, like, I just prefer things that... not because I'm like, I'm so different. It's just like, that's just my preference.
No, that makes sense.
I mean? So I like things to, so it would be nice to have some, like, rodents.
See, this is why I wish like phoenixes are real. Because like if a phoenix is real, I would love to have that.
Yeah,
then like
that'd
be really cool. Like if time's like turning by, it explodes and then it like lights up again.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thanks so much for doing the podcast,
Yes,
Paula.
thank you for having me.
Thank you. And good night, everybody. I'm Sarah Albritton, and thanks for listening to Sleeping with Sarah, where I slept with Paula Ann. You can catch Paula every Thursday at Spiner's Pub for Wish You Were Beer. You can also follow her on Instagram at Paula Panine. That's PaulaPonine. If you like the podcast, please rate and review on iTunes and subscribe. This podcast is brought to you by audible.com. Please go to audibletrial.com/sleepingwithsarah. I'm releasing a new podcast each week. Be sure to tune in to find out who I have in bed with me next. Thanks to Josh Bryant for the music. You can also view the video on YouTube or follow me on Twitter @SarahAlbritton. Until next time, good night.